Just say hello to you guys because good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann's in Brazil, and Aaron and Steph, good morning. And Kimberly, good morning. Thank you guys for being here. And Tamala, good morning. And anyone else that might be out there that I can't tune into, or you can't tune into here with your names, that's okay. It's a thing. We have a few of us in the studio, 7, 8 of us right now. So my focus is going to be here, but I wanted to say hello there. And I was just talking with these folks. Can you see okay? It's kind of awkward right now. That it's the 4th of July, and I'm not so much feeling super patriotic right now. And I'm thinking it's because I'm looking around at our systems and they seem a little messed up. And so celebrating our Independence Day when so many people don't have those same privileges of independence is challenging. And sadly, this is really the first Independence Day that it's hit me this hard. And I'm 53 years old. This is my 53rd Independence Day. And I'm just realizing how crappy things really are. I mean, you know, there's racism, there's sexism, there's all the things. But this is the first real hard look that I've taken personally at what's going on in our society. So sad to say, I don't have my flag and I'm not waving it, and I'm not sure how I'm feeling about things going forward on that. So what I've started to do is write my own Declaration of Independence. Not for you guys to follow. I'm not going for President of the United States. It's for me, just to see, what do I hold to be truths? What do I value? What do I think is important in this way of being a human? And just see what I put down in that language and see what it is for me. And then I'm looking at it from, this is a democratic process that we're supposed to be in. And I'm feeling more like, instead of a democracy, it's a hypocrisy. And I'm wanting to make sure in my own life, as we are as a collective, that I'm walking my talk, that I am holding these truths up high. So if I write out this manifesto or this Declaration of Independence for myself, what I hold to be true, and then I don't walk the talk, I have no right or room to point a finger to anybody else in our own society. So what it boils down to me, to the essence of it, is we have to get our own selves, Independence Day. We have to get our own selves centered in what we value and start walking our talk and holding these things to be true. Because I believe that most of us, 99.9% of us, want goodness in this world, want fairness, want equality, want justice, want people to be healthy, want people to have a good education, want people to have good, safe, clean water to drink, want people to live in a good home. Don't you all want that? I mean, that's just like common goodness. And I believe most of us are of that ilk. And I think that 0.1% that isn't in that mindset isn't because they don't have it innately. It's just been scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and rubbed out of their system. Not entirely, but to the point that they don't see it. And so if all of us want goodness, why don't we all just get ourselves in alignment with that and walk our talk? Let's all declare that this is something that we demand and we want and we need for our coexistence and for our own self. I want clean water to drink. I want a good education for my kids. I want a house that's safe and secure, just as you guys do. So what are the things that I would do to get that? Would I tromp all over another person, climb to the mountain first, knock them off so that I could be on the top? That doesn't seem right. But that's what we've said our system up to be. It's a dog-eat-dog rat race, and it's at the sickening point. So yeah, I'm not being super patriotic today, and I'm sorry if you guys were. I'm not sorry. I'm hoping to have these conversations. I'm hoping that when we talk about this with people, if we can do it in a compassionate way, in a loving way, we can start to say, yeah, it is kind of crap. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of family that are very patriotic. And if I had this conversation with them, it would break their heart. They would be like, oh God, she's gone off the deep end. What are we going to do? She's one of those new age hippies now. They know that already. But it wouldn't sit well with them, and they wouldn't want to hear that, especially when I said, I don't feel like waving my flag right now. That would have just right there, especially some of my boomer relations, a little bit older, that they grew up with, that was blasphemy to say anything like that, treason. And I think it's okay for us to have these discussions to say we're disgruntled, and we've been kind of private about our political views, and now we need to be a little bit more heart forward with it. It doesn't feel good to me that there are systems in place that keep people from buying homes, having educations, systems set up so that they live in fear of being pulled over for something that would be easily let off for the average white person, but if you're a person of color, you're suddenly fearful of that siren being pulled over because that might put you in jail. And if you're in jail, you're not getting out. So make yourself aware. The research I'm doing is in listening. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to books on tape. I'm listening to people of color, LGBTQ populations talk about how they feel. And then I'm, whoa, okay, I feel this. And I see where I'm systemic in this. So maybe just start with your manifesto saying, I want to listen. I want to listen more. And I'm going to throw out some things to listen to. I'm sure you've heard of them all already. How to be an anti-racist. It's a book on tape or a book in paper, however you want to or prefer to take that information in. White fragility, New Jim Crow. These are top 3 ones that I've been looking at for myself, and I'm learning quite a bit. There's Science and Non-Duality. It's a website. Go there. It's interesting. It's all things. It's got a yoga bent. It's got political pieces. It's got science, and they're pretty proactive and pretty compassionate. There's social justice Buddhism. Check that out. That's a really great way to walk this talk without getting super defiant and super aggressive. We can be passionate and we can be forceful and powerful with our words, but we don't have to be assholes. That's what we're trying to get rid of. So don't be more like what we're trying to execute. We want that out. We want kindness in lots of ways. All right, so I'm gonna get back over on our mat and start moving and singing. I don't have Michael today because he's busy. And I do have Malia up here. You guys can't see her, but you guys can. She is a graduate of our teacher training program, and she's finishing up her observations. And so many of these students were in this like limbo phase during COVID, going, how am I ever going to get this done? And so now that they can come back in and start observing. So she's watching me, not you guys. All right, let's sit up nice and tall. Bring our hands into heart center and just take a moment to center. And sometimes if there's a lot of stuff going on in your head, and we are busy right now in our minds, we have a lot that we're pondering, a lot that we're mulling through. From everything I just said, that's been on your guys' hearts too, heart minds. We're also looking at not just our governmental situation, worried about health. This virus has created a whole level of fear that's been layered on top of everything else. So there's this base of fear amongst us all. Even if we've seemed to come to terms with it, we feel pretty good about things, it's still there. It's when one of us feels it on any level, the rest of us tune into that too. We're all interconnected through great spirit. The Lakota call it the sacred hoop. The sacred hoop is this medicine wheel, if you will, holds all creation in it. And at the center of the sacred hoop is the tree of life. Connects us to earth, connects us to spirit. We need to heal this hoop, it's broken. Just bring in your prayers. Let yourself connect to your source. The Lakota call it Wanka Tonka. Great Spirit. It's just a little quietness and that deep listening. Seek that connection. It's like a thread. It connects us all together. Try to tune into it. When you feel it, feel me and feel your neighbor, feel the plants, air, you're a part of it all, we're connected through it all, then that's when you say your prayer. That's when you put your well wish in. May all beings everywhere be free and happy, and may my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to their happiness. And in the last few moments of this little check-in, this little centering, it's just a touchstone, really. Diving into a full, deep meditation, I'm just connecting, opening the channel. Last little bit of this, just focus on love. Loving kindness, compassion, unconditional love, forgiveness, healing love, love in capital letters. And just blast it through that thread of all creation. Love is what heals fear. And then let's sing a song. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. It's the Sanskrit prayer for freedom for all beings and happiness for all beings, and the request that we ourselves bring that to all beings through our words, actions, and thoughts. Loka samasta sukhino Bhavantu. Sing for all people. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And a beautiful Om all together to open our practice. Take a breath in. Bow your head towards your beautiful heart center that connects us. And set your intention for this day. There's a powerful lunar eclipse happening this evening. It's a portal. Offer some of our samskaras and karmas and systemic implicit bias and criticism and judgments. Go through the portal. And then use the intention you're setting right now to cut a new groove in your thought patterns, in your systems. And we'll slowly open our eyes and we'll come into tabletop position, all fours. Thank you for singing. Okay, so tabletop, it's a nice solid foundation. Just take a moment to feel your spinal cord right now. Maybe it feels light, feather light. Maybe you feel heavy in your spine. And then on your next inhale, drop your belly, slowly lift your chin and look up to the sky and hang there for a moment. Stretch the whole front of your torso. Then on your exhale, tuck your chin, curl in, stretch your spine to the sky. Now flow that back and forth, using your breath to guide, but really paying attention to the energy you're holding in Sushumna channel. It's that river of energy that runs from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. And it houses our 7 chakras. And sometimes when we get energetically blocked, it shows up in this pose. We can tune into which center, which chakra, where in our body is it feeling a little fragile, a little tender, a little heavy. Come into neutral position. Take your booty now out in hip circles. So a little more sidewindy through our spinal cord. And again, tuning into where there's resistance, where there's constriction or tightness or gripping. And if you know your chakras, then you can start to go in and ask the questions. I literally ask myself, my high self, what is it? Make sure you're going opposite direction if you haven't already. And then pause in neutral. Now we'll take the right foot back behind us and just rock back and forth, pressing off the ball of the foot. Opening up the arch in your foot, opening up that line of energy that runs down your leg. See if you can tune in so refined in your awareness that you can feel where your hamstrings attaching to your sit bone on that right side. And you can feel it all the way down to the back of your knee, and then your calf muscle, and your Achilles heel. And we'll pause now, pick up the right foot, haul it over to your left side, look out over the left shoulder, and stretch your ribs to the right, just press them. A breath in, and a breath out. Now we'll pick up the right foot again. This time we're hauling it out to a 90-degree angle and pressing the razor edge side of the foot to the floor. And just hold static for a moment, let that IT band unravel. And then we'll float it now. This is a little more challenging. Float the right foot, flex the foot. You want it straight out from your hip, about a 90-degree angle. Take it 1 inch higher and 1 inch forward. Ugh. Now bend the knee and make circles all the way around. About 5 times in that direction. And then about 5 times in the other direction. Big booty circles. And then rest that right knee down. Whole thing on the other side. So now left foot goes back and we rock back and forth on the ball of the left foot. This point in the arch, I tell you about it all the time. It's called the bubbling spring in Eastern medicine. It's a giant chakra in the bottom of your foot, and it connects you to the earth so you can tune into her frequency. Now pick up the left foot, haul it over to the right side as far as it'll reach. Look out over the right shoulder and stretch into your left ribs. Your rib cage, of course, is protecting your heart, protecting your lungs. It's your armor. So stretching it out allows for you to get some of those daggers out, some of that poison. Now pick up the left foot, haul it out to the 90-degree angle and press the razor edge side of the foot down. And a static hold at first, just letting that IT band's very thick fascia, tenuous fascia, just let it open. And then we'll float it. This is a little more effort. Take it a little higher than you think, flex the foot. Take it a little more forward, and then a bent knee and your circles all the way around, 5 and 5. Really getting into that hip. And then we'll set that one down. Come into downward facing dog now. Curl the toes under, bum to the sky. We pedal out our feet. Let yourself play around in down dog for a moment. It feels good to get into this one. It's one of my favorite poses because it really stretches the long muscles. Your hamstrings, your erectors, that really dense muscle in your calf. Oh my gosh, this one gets it. And it feels awesome. Long lines in your forearms. Dangle the head so your neck can stretch long. It's crunchy up there. Good. Let's take our right foot up high to the sky. Reach it up high and take a knee to nose tuck. Bring it in. Back up high. Then again on your exhale, knee to nose tuck. Back up high. And one more time, knee to nose tuck. Back up high. Then we'll step the right foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Boom, help it if it doesn't make it. Steady yourself low. We don't have blocks in here. But if you have blocks at home, you can put them on your hands and then straighten and bend. Loosening up. A little more of the hip flexor, a little more into your hamstrings. Awesome. Now turn your left foot down to a 90-degree angle. Take your right forearm to right thigh. Left hand to left hip and pull the left hip back. Left shoulder head back. Then when you're ready, left hand to the sky. Let's rotate the wrists around a couple of times in each direction. And then we'll turn the palm to the front of our mat and stretch long. Big long reach. And again, you're in those ribs. Pull them open. Pull the waistband open. And there's that IT band down the back side of your leg or side of your leg. Now cartwheel on up, warrior two. I'm going to flow this a little bit. So flip both palms, straighten the right leg, reach up and touch. Exhale, eclipse through. Then back up, straighten out, then lunge in, clip it. cutting away some of our own shizzle that hopefully we're looking at. One of the things that I'm excited about that's happening in our society is people are understanding some language. They're starting to hear what shadow work is. Wow, that's cool. Warrior two. Hold it out. Lift the palm of the right hand. Reverse warrior. So keep the lunge, reach back, take a breath in, and a big breath out. One more like this. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly straighten out that front leg and stretch into reverse triangle. Breath in, breath out. One more here. Inhale and exhale. Keep your legs straight. Come up through neutral with your arms. Take a forward reach, but don't go down. Stretch it. Then come back up. You're going to do that 2 more times. Prepping for triangle. You go out. Come back up. And then this one goes all the way as far forward and then on down. Trikonasana. Left hand to the sky, right hand to the shin. Take a breath in. Big breath out. Lean back a little more. Breath in. Big breath out. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Nice job. Pull back up to your warrior two. Tick-tock in that right foot. Hands to your hips. Draw the shoulder heads back with the chin to the sky. And just take a little bit of a heart opener for a moment. Our throat opens here. This is an expression zone where we speak our truth. Just let yourself linger in this for a bit longer to activate the throat chakra and the heart chakra. Another breath in, breath out. And then we'll come up through neutral position, take an inhale, and then a dive forward on the exhale. So you're in a wide-legged straddle, head dangles. Maybe heel toe a little wider, and you want your toes to be slightly pigeon-toed. Big breath in, big breath out. Again, inhale and exhale. Our last one, breath in, breath out. And then inhale, pulls us back up. We're going to walk back around to the front of our mat. Low lunge. Step your right foot back to your left, high plank. Big breath in. Lower down slow, knees, chest, chin. Snake through, find your way into cobra, only as high as it doesn't bother your back. Exhale down. Curl your toes under, up and back. You're in down dog again. 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Shake out the shizzle in the head. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Breath in. And breath out. Good. Left leg goes up high to the sky. Reach it up high. Take a knee to nose tuck. Bring it in. Go back up high. And this one's going to step all the way up to the top of the mat. Help it if it didn't make it. Rock back and forth, straightening and bending. Again, maybe our blocks at home. Sorry here. Can't have them yet. And then we'll come into the lunge. Turn your right foot down to a 90-degree angle and take your left forearm to your left thigh, right hand to right hip. Pull right hip back, right shoulder head back, so we're wide open. Then we'll take the right hand to the sky and rotate the wrist a couple of times in each direction here. Take a breath in again, and then turn the palm to the front of the mat and stretch long on the breath out, so full side angle pose. Reaching and opening up that side body all the way down to your foot, fingertip to toe. Stretch again. Exhale that one out. Then the inhale pulls you on up into your warrior two position. Then it's that little float. So both arms or both palms flip up, straighten out, reach up, and then scissor cut through. This is our eclipse in honor of our lunar full moon eclipse today. And the full moon is in the sign of Capricorn, which is systems, structures, government, law, justice. And the eclipse is happening in that sign. Really help clear things up with just our own thoughts contributing to the clearing and cutting. Then hold out your warrior two. Let the palm of that left hand go into your reverse wave. So keep the lunge, reach back, take a breath in, big breath out. Again, inhale and exhale. Now we start to straighten out that left leg and go into reverse triangle, even deeper. Breath in, breath out. Come up through neutral, legs stay straight. We take an inhale, we reach out but not down on the exhale. Then come back up. Then again, reach out. Come back up. And one more time, go all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, and then down into Trikonasana. Lean back, open up, breath in. Big breath out. One more time here, inhale and exhale. Then we'll come back up into our warrior two, tick-tock in that left foot, pause at the side of your mat again, just hands at heart center this time. Go into your intention. Let it move through your body as you're opening up your body. Feels good to get inside of our systems. You know, our systems are ingrained, as I was mentioning, inherited bias. Parents didn't mean to do these things. Our government, well, maybe they meant to do it. But we get these ancestral karmas handed down to us, these behaviors, these ideologies. And then we really don't even spend a whole lot of time questioning it because we trusted the authority that told us it was true. And it just must be. And now here we are, we get this opportunity. It's a glorious time. I'm so excited. People are learning these words. People are understanding their psychology. They're understanding their emotions and they want to do the work. It's a good time, even though it's radically hard right now. It's a good time because people want to step into their goodness. That's awesome. You included. I know that's you. All right. Let's come into a forward fold. So start a little bit more pigeon-toed than anything so that your sacrum has room to breathe as it folds forward. Little bend in the knees. We come on down. Our hands come to the earth. Now this time we're moving into Skandasana. So that's that slide. We're going to take our bum to the back of our mat. Pull that left leg straight. Then you pick it up and go the other way. It doesn't matter if you started front. Just move side to side and you're really getting into those inner thigh muscles and your hamstrings. Your adductors. These are long, skinny muscles and your inner thighs. This is a great stretch for them. We don't really get into this place too much. There's a paraplegic yoga teacher by the name of Matthew Sanford, and he's amazing. Can't feel his lower body. But he says, most of us can't feel ours either. And he said, our inner thighs are our forgotten country. Okay, so now when you rotate around to the front of your mat, you're going to turn it into your runner's lunge, and we're going to pause there for a moment. Then we're going to drop down to that right knee and take our hands on top of that left knee and stretch. Now, if your knee's kind of tender, you've got that option to put a blanket or double back the mat. And then open up this front hip flexor. Breathe into it. Take a breath in and a big breath out. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now we're going to take our right hand to our low belly, left hand to the sky. Hold your belly in and up. That supports you. Then lean back for your back bend here. Chin up if you can. Breath in, breath out. And if you can, double time. Both hands up. Take a breath in, breath out. And maybe take hands behind the back of the head and really lean into it. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach back up tall. Hands come down to the ground. Pull that left leg straight. Let your head dangle towards your shin. Opening up the back of that left leg. There's an awesome video going around. You've probably seen it. the Frederick Douglass's great-great-great-grandchildren saying his speech that he delivered on Independence Day many moons ago, and it's powerful. I highly recommend you look it up and take a look. Now, if we want to walk out, for those of you who want splits, keep pressing through that left heel, walk your hands with your shoulders, move into a little bit more of the splits. Otherwise, stay in that half splits that we were just in. And it doesn't matter if you get all the way down. One of the things I think that is problematic in our systems is the competitive edge. So just being our very best is what we're trying to do, and not be the best. Now, if you can, swoop your heel around, make your way into pigeon. Your right foot straight back, you're upright, take a breath in, and then come on down, sleeping pigeon. Let your head rest to something, whether you make a pedestal with your hands or you bring your forehead all the way to the earth. Let your head rest and your third eye activate. This is that intuitive voice, that 99.9% goodness, where everything has the yin-yang effect. So you're mostly goodness with that little dot of every now and then a little malice. And maybe you spend your life battling that malice. When you get a crappy attitude or a bad thought or a little devious or over-aggressive. And we try to keep holding that integrity around our goodness. Well, when we listen to our intuition, where the third eye is the center, the guidance and the direction and the voice and the wisdom that comes forth from that place is pure goodness, 100%. And if we could train ourselves to listen to our intuition, our inner knowing, it's really great spirit. And we would walk this earth walk in the way of love, good path, red road. Sometimes we avoid, ignore, deny, disregard, doubt our intuition. And instead we take the guidance from our ego, which isn't always wrong, which isn't always bad, but it is subject to its insecurities and its fears, whereas your intuition is not. And the more fear we have, the more insecurity and anxiousness there is in the world, the more likely your ego is going to be residing in that place. And slowly rise out of this. We take our heart opener at the top, and then plant your hands and press all the way up and back into down dog. Pedal that out. Good. And now our right leg is going to go up high to the sky, and we're going to step it up to the top of the mat, and the left knee goes down this time. And we interlace our hands on top of right knee and press forward. So I mentioned the sacred hoop. The Lakota tradition is to sun dance every year. Many other Native American tribes have joined into the sacred sun dance. And the sun dance, the purpose of it is to heal that hoop. They dance for days and days and days. Now, left hand to the belly, right hand to the sky. And we lean back. Hold yourself in. When you feel steady, maybe double rainbow it. Take another breath in. And our hands go behind the back of our head and open. Take an inhale. And an exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Then reach back up to the sky. Hands come down. Pull right leg straight. And take a dive over the top of the right leg. Now, most of us will not be invited to go to the sun dance. That's a tradition amongst the Native American tribes. Few white people get invited, although there are several who have. But we can contribute in our own way to heal the hoop. Our dedication through our practice. If you want to move on out to the full stretch, you can. Slide that heel. Every time we come to the mat, treat it as if you're in sacred meditation. Honor the ancient practice of yoga as a way to be connecting to your mind, body, and spirit, and to use your thoughts, words, and actions to bring freedom and happiness to all beings. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Take another breath in, and slide out of that one, making our way into pigeon. We start upright, and we come on down. Find your way into pigeon. The medicine wheel is made up of 4 colors: red and yellow, black and white. The 4 colors represent the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the races, and they're all contained inside the hoop, the wheel. No one person is better than another because of their money, the color of their skin, their gender, their sexual preference, their class status, the number of degrees they own, the zip code they live in. None of that makes you better. And we have been feeding, stoking, supporting that system. That puts certain classes, certain races, certain sexual preferences, gender above another. Right under our noses. Big breath in, big breath out. And we'll gently rise up. Long holds on pigeon. Open our hearts. And then we'll plant our hands. Push them back. Downward facing dog. Pedal that out. Down dogs, like I said, feel good to get into. You get a little blood flow to the brain. Stretch everything out. Feel how strong you are. Holding your body weight. And then we'll come on down to our knees and just sit back for a moment. Virasana. Keep your palms up. Close your eyes and feel. Learning to feel. And just for a moment, instead of blasting love out like we tend to do, receive it. Just feel all the love coming towards you. By the mere fact that you're part of creation, you receive the thread of love. Love from the sun, love from the clouds, love from the trees and the plants and the flowers. It flows freely. It has no agenda. It just looks for the open channels in which it can go. Much like a bee goes to get the pollen. It's not being super selective. It's just looking for pollen. Love is looking for you. And fill up with it. It's hard for us to do that. Our little ego gets in the way. Either tells us we don't deserve it, or it's not really happening, or we don't want it. All false narratives that are part of the programming. You deserve it, you need it, and there's plenty of it. Just come up onto our knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulder heads onto your back and press your heart forward. Lift your chin to the sky. Right now you're in camel pose. This is a heart opener. If we want to go just a little deeper, press your hips a little more towards the front of your mat and lift your chin a little more to the sky and roll your elbows together behind just a little more. Now your deep breath. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And again, inhale and exhale. And on this one, just open your heart to receive all that blast of love. You're receiving. Inhale and exhale. Pour it into that heart center. And we'll slowly come back up and have a sit again on your heels. Palms up, eyes closed. It seems like a fairly straightforward posture. Something fairly simple to do. But for many, many people, that's a very challenging pose. Because their heart is tight. The heart has concrete all around it. It's vaulted in either out of protection or anger or fear or resentment, grief. And so to stretch it open like that, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, is hard. Let's go again, coming up on our knees. This time, let's just check in, because sometimes we get a little scared to go backwards. Just see if your right hand can find your right heel. You can kind of lean and sort of do a cheat. You can curl your toes under or put tops of the feet down. Check left side, make sure everything's there. All parts are working. And then hands on your hips again. Press your hips forward. Lift the chin to the sky. We can hang here, but maybe we reach back and grab onto those heels and then reshift our hips forward and drop our head back. And we're breathing as deep as we can. And this time, blast some love out there. Blast it out there. Blast it to all the people who have been afraid in their life, that are scared or lonely or grieving or angry. Blast them love. Another breath in, another breath out. And slowly we'll come back up and have a sit on your heels or between your heels. Palms up, eyes closed. Feel that heart energy. You get in there and it starts to go boom, boom, boom in all the ways. It gets excited. If you ever worked with little kids, sometimes I remember helping my son's kindergarten class on first day of school, and there's extroverted kids and they just run around. And inevitably, there's the few that are holding onto the hands of their parent or the teacher, and a little bit intimidated this first hour. They're a little shy, a little anxious about it all. Then as soon as they start playing with one another, getting to know one another, and those little quiet ones are running around too, hearts wide open, and they forget that armor. Let's help us lose our armor. Last one, best one. Coming back up on our knees. All beings should be free and happy. Hands on our hips. Roll the shoulder heads back. You can decide how deep you want to go, yogi's choice. Gently drop back into it. And as you feel like you're ready to take the final 3 breaths, blast out. I give so much love. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be free and happy. And may my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to their happiness. And we'll slowly move ourselves back up and have us sit on your heels or between your heels, palms up, eyes closed. And now receive it again. Let it boomerang right back to you. Allow yourself to appreciate your goodness. You're a good person and you want goodness. You're compassionate and you're kind and you're generous and you're fragile and tender. Allow yourself to see that. Do your best to be your truth, to be of service, to love. Even when you're scared, you still try to love. It's important to recognize that you're doing that work, because too often we focus on all the things we did wrong. I'm not enough. I could do more. So yes, and we can always be trying to do more, but you are enough. You are good. And we'll slide our legs around to the front. I'm going to take a slow roll all the way back. Ease yourself into it, nice and slow, so that you use your belly. Use your belly muscles. Use your belly muscles. And then when you get all the way back, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Knees flop out to the side. Let your hands just rest easy on your belly. You can make the Shakti Mudra. That's thumbs touch and index fingers touch and make an upside down triangle at your low belly. It activates your creativity. Right now, this is the call. Being called to recreate, co-collaborate, co-creation, new systems, new ways to coexist, healing that hoop. So activate your creativity. We'll reach down on either side of our thighs, help our knees together. We're going to hug our knees into our chest and give ourselves a good squeeze and a love. Then we'll move it into dead bug pose. So grabbing the tops of our feet or pulling down on your big toes with your peace fingers. Knees are about as wide as the mat, and flatten your whole spine to the mat. So tuck your chin, press your low back. Maybe go a little wider for happy baby, get a little more into those hamstrings. And then we'll bring our knees back into our chest. Give ourselves that good squeeze and a hug. Right knee stays in, left leg goes long to the ground. Extra good tug here. Take a breath in. And then we'll take a crossover, a supine twist. I read a really good article I was talking about yesterday in class, and if you're on Facebook, I posted it on my Facebook page, and it's called Bypassing the Spiritual Bypass. And it's a very interesting read. A spiritual bypass is when we think we don't have to do any of the work because we wear malas or meditate or make it to our yoga mat every now and then. Come out of the twist, point the right leg up high. But what we really want to do, draw a line straight down, is called spiritual embodiment. We want to take all the teachings and all the practice and all the meditation and walk our talk with it. Be it. The proverbial Gandhi phrase of be the change you wish to see. Now let's shift it into our twist the other way. So drop your left knee across to your right side and you take a look out to your left side. Breathe as deep as you can. So it's not enough to just donate some money and meditate. We have to be the teachings. Live them, breathe them, teach them, learn them and teach them, learn them and teach them. Put it on repeat. And then come out of the twist, point the left leg up high to the sky, and draw a line straight down. Okay, yogis, if there are any other poses you would like before we come into final rest, please feel free to take them. Otherwise, let yourself sprawl out into Shavasana. One thing about social distancing, you've got plenty of space for your Shavasana. And then let yourself go into that deep place of rest, respite, returning, remembering, not mind stuff, not analyzing, critiquing, evaluating. Turn off the mind. In your heart. Turn on your heart. Turn it up full blast. And feel that connection just like we did in the beginning. Feel the connection to all that is. Feel the sacred hoop. Triambakam Yajambahe Sukandam Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukamiva Bandhanam Rityo Mukshiyamritam Triambakam Yajambahe Sukandam Pushtivardhanam Urvam Rukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mukshiyamritam Triambakam Yajambahe Sukandam Pushtivardhanam Urvam Rukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mukshiyamrityo Mukshiyamrityo Mokshya. Take your time to come back into your body, little wiggles in your fingers and toes. And most certainly, if you have the luxury of lasting a little longer in Shavasana, please stay connecting to that heart energy. And eventually make your way into a nice long full stretch with arms overhead and point and flex the toes like that morning wake up stretch and just activate the whole systems. And then hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a good squeezy and a love. A well-deserved hug. Honor yourself. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep doing good. And then roll to your side, fetal position. And before you push up, just remind yourself of what your intention is. It's an eclipse day, a full moon. It's potent. Use this all day long. Keep returning to it. Run it. Cut that groove of thought. Bring it up with you back into seated Sukhasana. Easy pose. Hands to heart center. Eyes closed just a little bit longer. Feeling all your power. Your whole energy body, your creative force, your great spirit, your Shakti. Also, your humanness, your fragile ego, your vulnerability, your faults. It's all part of the package. You see the whole thing as a good thing. Seal our time together with the sound of Om. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale to Om. All that is good and light in me honors and recognizes all that is good and light in each of you beautiful souls. I bow to you all. Namaste. Jai Ma. Thank you for being here and doing the work. Have an awesome rest of your day. I get to drive to Wyoming and go camping. I'm going to be gone, just as a FYI, until I will be back teaching my next Saturday class, but all this next week. And we're going up to my family, extended families from South Dakota. So we're going up to Mount Rushmore. And we're going to do a little ceremony up there and clean it up with energy, good energy. And that'll be an interesting time. That wasn't planned, but I did not know other people were going to be up there at the time. That's where my family lives. Oh, goodness. All right. Oh, and by the way, next Saturday evening, 6 to 8 at Merriam Parkway over by Wash Park, we're going to do a fundraiser for Tina Porter. Her son has a brain tumor. He's only 14 years old and it's inoperable. And we're going to do a little fundraiser. Lisa, Tice, and I teaching yoga on that parkway and bringing ourselves together, social distancing, all the things, but as a way for us to put collective prayer together for her sweet little Brody. So if you're able to join us, come to Merriam Parkway next Saturday, the 11th, from 6 to 8. And there'll be a Facebook invite for that, and you can check it out. And if you can't come and you want to contribute in some way, she has a GoFundMe that I'll have up there, and you can be part of it in that way too. It's going to be an expensive process to help him with his treatments for this. So we'll help him in any way we can, but particularly those prayers. them some love in that way. All right, have a good one, you guys. Be safe out there. You can see, by the way, the eclipse. It's a partial eclipse, about 10:35 tonight, and it'll be about 25 degrees above the horizon, and it'll just look like the crown chakra of the moon will be faded out. It'll be like a grayish piece. So if it's a clear night, I don't know what it's supposed to be like, or if you're in the mountains, check it out. It'd be kind of cool to get in that and throw your shizzle through the eclipse portal. Good one. All right, have a good one. Yeah. Bye, y'all out there. Thanks for being here. Be safe out there in the world.